Kalthoff, and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to create a masculine card today. Well, actually, it could be a card for women too, especially runners in your life or people that love to play the guitar. But I tell you what, I am using it as a masculine card because I sometimes have a lot of trouble coming up with masculine cards. And this stamp set called Epic Celebrations is a great one for masculine cards. This is what the card looks like. And it's also a good time for me to remind you that Stampin' Up's 2018 celebration is coming to a close. That is where with every $50 increment on your Stampin' Up order, you get to pick something free from Stampin' Up. And I love that. I love this time of year. I'm a little sad to see it all come to an end, but I know that with Stampin' Up, there's always something good around the corner. So let's go ahead and make this really cute Epic Celebration card. Talk to you in a bit. All right, so here is the card again. Let me show you a close-up. And this is what the inside looks like. So let's go ahead and I'll show you that the first thing you'll need is some real red cardstock, and I've cut it at 4 1/4 by 11 inches and then scored it at 5 1/2. And what I'm going to do is fold along the score line. I'll use my bone folder here just to give it a good press so it lies down flat for us. Then the next thing I'm going to do is do my inside panel and just get that out of the way. We're going to use a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White paper. And then this ink that I'm going to use is our Archival Basic Black. And I'm just going to go ahead and we'll stamp the sentiment right here. And then I'm going to use some snail. And we're just going to put some snail along the top here, and then we can put it right here on the inside panel of our card, making sure that all 4 borders are nice and even. Now we have a whole bunch of layering to do. So let me show you the card again. This is a little deceiving because it looks very simple, but actually there's a lot of layers. And so one of the first layers here is a piece of black cardstock that's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I've gone ahead and I've run it through the Big Shot machine with our embossing folder that's called Sweetheart. So you can see the heart here. And I just tried to make sure that when I ran this through the embossing machine, I wanted to have this heart very much centered, because I don't actually want the heart to show in my card. I just want these outer edges here to show, all these little bumps. I think they look really cool and kind of modern. And so then we can go ahead and we'll just use some multi-purpose liquid glue here, and we can just glue this right onto the front of our card. So we'll set that in, wiggle it into place, and give that a nice little press. Now let's go ahead and do some stamping again. So we are going to stamp on a piece of Whisper White that's 3 by 4 inches. And what I did is I took my stamp set and I just put it on one block. I put You're Awesome up here, and then I put the shoes down here. And I'm going to ink that up with some Archival black ink. And then I'm going to flip it over here, and then I can just center it in, just kind of hoover it over, and we'll just give that a nice press, and we are done with that step. Now, I did want to let this dry just a little bit before I use markers on it, so I did pre-stamp this, and I did start with some markering here. So what I did is you can either purchase the Brights marker set or the whole entire lineup of markers so that you get every color. But I have one of the Brights here, and it's real red, and all I'm going to do is color in this area where the shoe is, and then there's some areas that I'm going to leave white. And I do not want to color in by the shoelaces because that is just the quickest way to mess it up. So I will just show you with a little close-up here in a second how good it looks, even though I did not color inside the shoelace area. And so let me hold it up to the camera, and you will notice how nice it looks, and you do not have to color inside. Your brain will fill that in. It's just kind of something that we assume to see, and so we see it. So no one will ever really notice if you colored in there or not. And it saves time, and it makes your laces look proper. When I did try to color it in, it seemed like I was coloring half onto the laces, and it didn't look very nice. So we're going to layer this white panel now onto a panel that's exactly 1/8 inch larger. So this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. And I'm going to put that on with some snail. And once we have that on, then we're going to take one of those clips and they're our eclectic paper clip collection. And they come in 3 different shapes. They have sort of a leaf shape, this banner shape, and then a triangle shape. So I'm going to use the triangle shape, and then I'm just going to clip this on so that it looks like this. And if you want to, you know what, I might even just do it on the white panel there. So there we go. This is what it looks like. So you can either clip it onto the white portion or the black portion, whichever it seems to fit best with. And I'm going to move it over a tad. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is accent that, because I think it looks really cool to put some kind of like lacing in there. So this is our 1/8 inch gold metallic ribbon. And so we're just going to slide this under. And once you get it looking kind of like exactly the way you want it to look, you just trim it off. So let me use my scissors here and trim that off. And that looks really, really cool. And if you do feel like it needs to be tacked down a little bit, you can just use a glue dot or some multi-purpose liquid glue, just a little dot to kind of tack it down. But I haven't had too much trouble with it wiggling around. So now we're going to put it onto a layer of real red cardstock. This is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And again, it is just 1/8 inch bigger than the layer that it is under. So here we go. And we'll wiggle that into place. And now we're ready to put this on our card. So we're going to do that with dimensionals. And as you can see, I use 5 dimensionals. And now I'm going to flip it over, and I'll be covering up this heart shape. So I'm just going to center it in right here onto our card. And that looks great. And our card is complete. Doesn't that gold ribbon up there look awesome? I love that. There's different things you can do. You could also thread the gold ribbon around your paper clip and add a little accent down here. And then here's another card I've created that uses this ribbon kind of in the same way, except I have it clipped onto a different style of paper clip. And of course we're featuring the guitar too. So really cool masculine cards. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me. If you would like some links to these products, be sure to visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and have a great day. Bye-bye.